You're listening to College Football Report with Eric and Ryan Robinson with their Week 4 previews and predictions on the Central Indiana Sports Report. And here's your host, Greg Mingelt.
Welcome back, college football fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report for our College Football Report weekend preview, where Eric and Ryan Robinson are going to preview and pick the biggest games of the week, well, the biggest games of the week and the local games, and put their knowledge up against local media in our college football picks competition. And welcome, Eric and Ryan. After 3 weeks, Eric is in first place in the competition. Ryan is in second. Eric has 93. Ryan has 92 points.
Let's get it.
And Eric won the first week. Ryan won the second week. Last week, I was joined on the podcast by Grant Schaus to make the picks, and he won week 3. So whoever appears on the College Football Report has had the best week.
Let me ask you this, Greg. Other than bragging rights, what's the prize for winning first place?
Deep affection from the host.
I'm going to start tanking.
And you'll get to be mentioned on this podcast how wonderful you are making college football picks. And if that's not the ultimate prize, I don't know what it is. So the current standings after 3 weeks: Eric 93, Ryan 92, Jeremy Giggy of the White River Communications with 90, Grant Schaus 89, and then it drops a little to Will Rutherford of Strictly Bias and Cody Emerson, the editor at the Greenfield Banner Graphic, both have 84. And then you keep going way, way down until you find Greg at 76 points. But the last place is 67. So at least I'm not down that far.
I need to make a good comeback this week.
You're in first place. How can you make a good comeback?
I had a bigger lead a week ago. I think I was about 500 last week. That's not. You're not gonna win it going 500.
And you've led the entire way. You've never not been ahead. A big week for you. We're going to find out real soon what game you're taking. As a reminder, everybody, each game is worth 10 points. The favorite is worth fewer points. If you are willing to take the underdog, they're worth more points in the competition. So it's sometimes. There have been some times where I really thought a team with fewer points was going to win, but the other team was worth 4 times the points, so I've taken them. So that's kind of the idea of the contest. Also, every week, Notre Dame, IU, Purdue, and Ball State will be in our picks competition, as well our adopted local team, the Illinois State Redbirds. And we start with the local teams, with 2 local teams going head-to-head, and it probably wouldn't even be our game of the week if we were doing a game of the week. 3:30 at Notre Dame Stadium on NBC. It's Purdue at Notre Dame. Purdue's 2-1. Notre Dame is 0-2. Notre Dame's minus 25.5 points. Purdue's 1,400 money line. And I have Purdue worth 8 points. Notre Dame worth 2. Does that tempt either one of you to take Purdue?
No, I'm not tempted. I think Notre Dame. We talked earlier. Too much offense from Notre Dame. I think. I like Notre Dame to cover and get their first win of the year.
Yeah, I look for Notre Dame to get in the win column. I don't know that they'll cover the spread. I think offensively they potentially could make this ugly, but I'm giving Purdue a little bit more credit this year. I think their coaching improvement's gonna help, but I think Notre Dame goes to 1-2.
And I think we give Purdue more credit this year as well, but that doesn't mean this game's going to be close. I think Notre Dame wins and covers. All 3 of us are taking Notre Dame to win this game. 3:30 in Hartford, Connecticut on CBS Sports Network. 1-2 Ball State is at 1-2 UConn. Ball State is a 21-point underdog, and I have them worth 7 points. UConn worth 3. You guys taking the Huskies or the Cardinals?
I debated and kicked this around about taking Ball State because UConn loses to Delaware last week. So Connecticut is really, really bad. And then I looked, did a little homework on Ball State, and that offense is terrible. Man, Ball State is really bad. I'm going to take Connecticut.
I'm also going to take UConn in this one. I just think Ball State's really, really bad. As much as I'd love to pick the hometown Cardinals, I got to go with since we do have bragging rights and affection from the hosts at stake on our picks, I got to go with the Huskies.
That's right. I feel the same way. Ball State's always been my favorite, but that doesn't change the fact that they're not very good yet. We believe in the new coaching staff, but yet. And then the biggest game of the weekend, 7:30 at Memorial Stadium on NBC. 3-0 Illinois, ranked 9th in the country. 3-0 IU, ranked 19th. The Hoosiers are 6-point favorites. I have both teams worth 5, and I wrote a song this week, guys, and it goes like this. Hoosiers by 3 touchdowns. Hoosiers by 3 touchdowns. So, you know my pick.
Okay, before I make my pick, I'm going to ask for an official review of this 5 point for each team. This sounds like some IU nonsense to me. They're -6 and they're going to get 5. This
They
should be a 6
started
and
off
4.
the week -2.5, and that's when I did it.
So 6 points Illinois.
Nope,
4
5
points.
points each.
No, I think I'm asking you to change it.
I know, but I already had everybody pick it with 5 and 5 when the week started at 2.5 points.
Okay, all right.
And that's how I do it. So if it's within 3 points, I make it 5 and 5.
I'm going to go against your number 1 hit single. I'm taking Illinois in this game.
I figured you both were. I think you both take seriously a football program that shouldn't be taken seriously.
I actually have IU in this contest.
Whoa.
But if I'm being 100% honest and transparent with you, I have a scribble mark through my Illinois pick. I went with Illinois originally and then did a little bit of research and I switched and I jumped on the IU bandwagon.
Bunch of key contributors from Illinois, it looks like, might not be playing this weekend. They're a little banged up. And so I think why the line's gone from 2.5 to 6.
Well, they've been playing football teams.
That's right.
You're going to get banged up when you play football teams.
Although, have you looked at the actual strength of schedule?
No.
They're the same.
I know Old Dominion's not up there. Kennesaw State.
Old Dominion's higher than Duke. Old Dominion just beat Virginia Tech.
Who's Duke? Who's Duke football? Duke football?
That's right. The only team Illinois beat.
And Indiana coming up.
All right, now we're going to pick the games across the country that we thought were the best games. And we start with the noon games and in Salt Lake City, and apparently starting at 10 a.m. there on Fox, which is just crazy. 3-0 Texas Tech is at 3-0 Utah. Utah's a 3.5-point favorite. I have Texas Tech worth 6 and Utah worth 4. And again, as Eric pointed out, it's a little off with the way we had IU Illinois, but it was the line the way the week started, and that's the only thing I can do. I send out the picks when the week starts.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game, but I'm gonna take Texas Tech on the road. That's my pick.
I want to pick Texas Tech so bad in this game, but I went with Utah because I'd rather see Utah win. They are at home, they are favored, and Texas Tech they've spent so much money to get these wins. I'm kind of penalizing them a little bit and betting against them. So I got Utah.
Texas Tech is worth 2 more points than Utah, so that's why I'm taking Texas Tech. And I think you guys are right. This is a complete toss-up. I have no idea who to take. 3:30 in Madison, Wisconsin on NBC. It's the 3-0 Maryland Terrapins against the 2-1 Wisconsin Badgers. And Wisconsin is a 10-point favorite in this game. Crazy.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why they're a 10-point favorite, but somebody knows more than I do.
So does that mean you're taking Wisconsin?
I'm going to take Wisconsin at home, and yeah, I don't understand the line, but
I took Wisconsin too, and I feel sorry for the 6 people nationwide that's going to watch this game. This is probably going to be awful TV. This will be like a 16-10 final. And I pick Wisconsin just because I have to tell you a team.
You are unenthused, especially when there is going to be Auburn, Oklahoma, and Michigan-Nebraska, and Purdue, Notre Dame all at the same time while Wisconsin and Maryland are playing on Fox.
No one's going to be tuning into Wisconsin and Maryland. I'd almost guarantee Luke Fickell wishes he had a do-over. I don't think he ever would have left Cincinnati, at least not for that job.
You are absolutely right about that. And give me Maryland, mostly because I just don't like Wisconsin. 3:30 and Norman, Oklahoma. It's unbeaten Auburn again at unbeaten Oklahoma. The Sooners are 7-point favorites. I kind of struggled with who I was going to pick in this one, but 7-point favorite? I don't understand that line. And I'll take Auburn in the upset. Eric?
Yeah, I'm going to take Oklahoma at home. I thought they looked really good against Michigan. Actually surprised me. But I'm only picking just because if it was at Auburn, it'd be a different story. But home field's huge in college football, especially at Oklahoma. That home field, it's tough. So I'm going to take Oklahoma.
I'm also going to take Oklahoma in this one. I think the quarterback play is going to be better. Auburn's not quite ready to turn the corner yet with their young quarterback, and Oklahoma looked really good against Michigan, and I don't know why we weren't talking about them in our SEC forecast to start the season. So Oklahoma.
I think maybe because they're not that good. Maybe they are, but I have a feeling by the end of the year, no one will be talking about Oklahoma. 3:30 in Lincoln, Nebraska. 2-1 Michigan is at 3-0 Nebraska. Michigan is a 2.5-point favorite, which means both teams are worth 5. Eric, who are you taking?
I'm taking the home team again. I like Nebraska in this. I think they're better at quarterback. They got the home crowd. Watch Dylan Raiola to have a big game.
Yeah, Nebraska's going to go to 4-0. Dylan Raiola is going to be a player of the game. And very quietly, Nebraska's put together both sides of the ball. The offense, I think, 10th in the FBS, and the defense at 6th. So I'm going with the Cornhuskers.
Before the season, we all made our predictions, what was going to happen during the season, and what's turned out to be the dumbest prediction of all was me picking Michigan to win the Big Ten. They're not going to be in the top 5. Give me Nebraska in this one. It's a Nebraska sweep. One of the surprises of the college football season, Tulane is in Oxford, Mississippi to take on Ole Miss at 3:30 on ESPN. I have Tulane worth 7, Ole Miss worth 3. The Rebels are 12.5-point favorites, and just like Illinois, I can't take them seriously. I cannot take Mississippi seriously. Give me Tulane in the upset.
Yeah, I like your pick, Greg. I'm not going to do the same, but I tell you what, Tulane's not really a surprise. Tulane's been putting a program together down there for 4 or 5 years.
That's right.
But they are legit. But I'm going to stick to my guns with my affection and my love for Lane Kiffin until I have to let him scoring me once or twice before I start picking against Ole Miss. I'm going to take Ole Miss.
I love Lane Kiffin so much, and I can't wait till they name him the head coach at Notre Dame. So I got Mississippi as well. You know that's sarcasm, right, guys?
Yeah.
Of course.
Don't ever play that back in the future. And
anyone who's
gonna
ever listened to
blackmail
the
me.
podcast knew that was sarcasm.
Yeah.
Now we move to a couple of pretty good late games. 7:30 at Hard Rock Stadium on ABC. 1-2 Florida at 3-0 Miami. I have Florida worth 3, Miami worth 7. Florida is worth 7 points, Miami worth 3. And guys, these are two teams you were high on coming into the season.
I was pretty high on Florida, but really high on Miami. And after watching them play Notre Dame and seeing what they've done the last couple of weeks, my pick is going to be Miami. But this could be a shootout. I could see DJ Lagway putting up big numbers. But I like Miami at home. You saw what that home field advantage did for them against Notre Dame, and I think Florida's going to have trouble, but it could be a shootout.
I think this could be a high scoring game. You know, we were high on Florida to start the season, Eric, but one of the things you brought up is that schedule. You know, how are they going to get through this schedule? It's so hard on them this year.
It was, yeah, same last year too.
So I think Florida can keep it close. I'm going with Miami in this game. I just think Carson Beck's too good. He's he's just playing in the zone right now. So
He's got good receivers too.
yeah, they're a really good football team. So Hurricanes keep it undefeated. Florida loses another tough one, and Billy Napier's relieved of his duties by 2 p.m. Sunday.
What? You think
Whoa.
so?
Yes,
Quite a prediction. Remember where you heard it, everybody.
if they start 1-3, it's over. He will not finish this season. It'll be done.
And I'm not sure if Miami is that good yet, but I think they're good enough to win this game. Also 7:30 in Waco on Fox. It's 2-1 Arizona State at 2-1 Baylor in a pretty good Big 12 game. Baylor minus 2.5 points. That means I have both teams worth 5. Eric, Sun Devils or Bears?
I'm going to take Arizona State. I think they bounced back after a terrible loss a week ago. I like them on the road. I think Baylor is average at best. I'm taking Arizona State.
I'm taking the Sun Devils too, but I think Baylor keeps this game really, really close, and they're actually favored, I think, by what'd you say, Greg?
2.5.
2.5, and they're playing at home. But I like Arizona State. They're kind of like my darling pick in that conference, so I need them to win. So that's who I'm going with.
I agree with you on that. I think they're better than they showed last week, and they're going to get on a roll here. I like Arizona State in this one. And the final game is the biggest game of the weekend. North Alabama at Illinois State. The 4th-ranked Redbirds are 23.5-point favorites. And if you pick against them, you're a jerk.
Yeah, give me winkers, right?
That's right.
3 touchdowns, 400 yards rushing, 1 receiving touchdown. Illinois State.
I got to go with the Redbirds keeping it undefeated in conference play. Winkers Wright gets the game ball with 113 yards rushing and 2 scores.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. It's been a fun season so far. Clemson definitely has not lived up to expectations. Most disappointing teams so far have to be Clemson, Florida, and Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think so. My national champion pick at Clemson is not looking good right now. And I also had Klubnik to win the Heisman. So,
But as long as they win the ACC, they still have a chance.
yeah, the door's not shut. But and the one loss is against the playoff team I had in there, Georgia Tech. So, and I actually picked Georgia Tech last week to win that game.
That's right. All right, guys. Thanks so much for your time. Look forward to it and boiler up.